With Super Mario Maker 2 less than a month away, Nintendo has been giving more and more information on everything from enemies, to co-op, to 3D World, and many popular video game channels were able to experience the new features firsthand. But one feature that was strangely absent from all of these videos was the Endless Challenge. It's mentioned for a whole 20 seconds in the 17.5-minute direct, and I'll summarize it here really quick. First, you select the difficulty, clear as many courses as possible until you lose all your lives. Also, there's an available leaderboard with a global ranking. So it sounds cool at first, but there are some major issues with this, and I think this experience is actually much worse than the 100-man mode from the first Mario Maker. I'll go over all the reasons, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, so let's begin. We start off by observing that many of the top players really like the Endless Challenge.
Spot on the leaderboards. On top of that,
I think I'll be on that leaderboard.
That's gonna be fun.
And one person who didn't care but knew who would care.
Alright, so Arthur, the Beast, and all of them, they're gonna have a hard on for this one.
The first reason that the Endless Challenge is not good for a Mario game is that because since the beginning of Mario, there's always been a final level. Even the bastard child, Mario 2, which is just a tweaked Doki Doki, has a final level, which is a little weird. The 100 Mario Challenge is clearly meant to imitate all of the side-scroller Marios before it, where you navigate through the levels and in with the final boss. Having a final level for any game gives a feeling of accomplishment. The 100 Mario Challenge is perfect because it has that final boss. It's always a dungeon, which has a more tense feeling. There's always this gray door background on the last level, and it just makes sense. You've battled through a bunch of levels and then you get to the finale. Then when you beat the level, you rescue the princess. That's pure classic Mario. But the Endless mode doesn't have that. The princess is just chilling at home in the castle and Mario just decides to embark on a journey and literally never return to the castle. Seems kinda like the dad who went out for a pack of cigarettes. The second issue I have with the Endless Challenge is that they say there will be a global ranking, but let's be honest, since Mario Maker 2 will probably let you skip levels, it'll be a sham. The clip from earlier of Beast saying he'd make it on the list,
I think I'll be on that leaderboard.
He's probably wrong. Not because he's bad, but because any decently skilled person could just skip every bad or hard level they see until they get a level that they can beat in 1 or 2 lives. But Beast and many other streamers hold strong to the no-skip philosophy, so they wouldn't even come close to those who will skip anything that's even slightly hard. Ultimately, what I'm getting at here is that the global ranking of the Endless mode would likely be pretty meaningless. The third problem with converting to the Endless Challenge no-skip is that the question will no longer be, will he win, but rather it becomes, when will he lose? Which isn't quite as fun to watch when you know the player will eventually lose. With the Endless Challenge, we will be losing the magical finishes where the player has 1 life left and they just barely make it to the axe.
Oh! Yes!
Yeah!
You!
If these guys were doing the Endless Challenge instead, it would be great and all to beat the level, but it would just be level 6 and they'd have to start level 7 with 1 life, or maybe 4 if they got 1-ups. And even 4 lives for most super expert levels just isn't enough, so their run would effectively be over. It'd be like watching Rambo gun down hundreds of bad guys, but never actually reaching the final boss to kill him. He just continues to gun down guys until he eventually dies. That's not nearly as fun to watch. Ultimately, the only real solution is for Nintendo to also include the original 100-man challenge with its set number of levels. The Endless mode is cool as an extra mode, but not the only mode. It's un-Mario-like, global rankings are a joke, and no-skip challenges would never end with a triumphant finish.
Yes, yes, got it. Ah.
No matter how well they play, the runs will always end with